people don't know. You were with Mafikizolo, right?
I'm still with Mafikizolo.
You're still with Mafikizolo? And you were with Malaika at some point.
Malaika, yes.
And then you did a recording of Rahu?
Rahu, yes.
Really?
Yes.
And you toured with Brian McKnight?
Brian McKnight, yes, we did. Brian
Really?
McKnight, and I wish musicians could actually utilize on their numbers on social media. I think a lot of them don't know that the numbers that you have is actually money. The followers you have is money.
100%.
And because we are creatives, we sometimes just focus ourselves to say we're just singers.
Yeah.
And record, and that's it. But God has given us talents and gifts. Correct. And we are able to literally monetize and make money in any other possible way.
Does a woman have a right to deny a man when she's praying or fasting?
Praying.
Yes, during prayer and fasting. Does a woman have a right to say no?
Not really.
Research. You went to Pastor Africa, Alleluia Ministries.
Yes.
Are you still there?
No.
What happened?
I left.
What did you do?
Before I left.
You know?
Oh, wow, you do your research, bro. Like, where did we get it? Like, in all the questions that I thought of, I never, not even, like, wow, for myself.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us once again. And today we've got a mighty woman of God. But before we go there, please don't forget to subscribe on all our social media platforms, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Yes, we're seeing all the likes and the comments. Please keep on supporting us. And to everyone, especially my guest who's here today, make sure your CDs, it's getting full. It's getting full. I'm very happy to see what's happening behind us. But without any further ado, today we've got a special lady who came here. I grew up listening to her music, and I saw now that we're actually the same age. Like, hey, I was sleeping in my time. People began their careers very early, but we've got a lovely lady by the name of Dudu Tsobane.
Yes.
How are you doing, my sister?
I'm fabulous. How are you doing?
You're good. Can't you? This cool in real life.
Can't you?
No. But you know what? I can actually justify.
I'm the coolest person. I think even my friends, sometimes they get annoying to me, but I'm very cool.
No, I think you're cool. You know, I've met you before. No, I didn't really meet you. We're in the same vicinity.
Okay.
But in proximity.
Yes.
We're in the same space. It was just after Joyous 11.
Okay.
And then you guys went back to Sun City. It was after Obabu passed away.
Okay.
And it was the first time I attend and work on a Joyous gig.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you actually worked there?
Yes,
okay.
Sound department. And I remember it was so sad because people were crying. Mm-hmm. You were crying. Mm-hmm. You were like Baksusa stage.
Really?
Yes. it was during sound check when you were doing the tribute to Vuyom Queen.
Okay.
Oh, it was sad.
Okay. Yes, I remember that. Yeah. That time was really sad.
It was a sad moment, and people were crying. Dudu was crying. I was like, hey, did I come to Joyous at the wrong time? Yes, I was working for a certain sound company.
Okay, babe.
And yes, I was so excited to see you guys.
Timing, yeah.
I said, okay. maybe the problem is me, man. But the show was good, man. The show was good. Otherwise, you good, my sister?
I'm great.
We've not seen you in the spotlight in forever.
I know, especially in the music scene.
Yes.
But I have been much singing and working, and it's just that not in your one gospel, like everyone would want to see you there, or in any other public platform. But in terms of your gigs where you are doing your corporate gigs, your private gigs, I've been like playing in that space so much.
I see. Now you decided you want to make real money.
Yes, because the money is there, and also I was exploring. Remember, you need to try new things, explore, and especially when God directs you to certain doors, You can never say no, especially if you know it's from God.
Yeah.
You know, and those doors are there to grow you also as an artist, as a person. So it has been quite a beautiful space for me. But obviously you wanna go back into, you know, getting your church gigs, going out there.
So you wanna go back to not making money because hey, it can
No,
get
no, no.
tough
It's
like
actually ministry. That's ministry.
hey, tough that one. Eh?
It's not well because right now the economy is changing level, so we really need the money. But it's actually good because you get there. That's what we are called for, you know, to go there, and with our music, we are able to heal. You know, we are able to deliver people just by singing. You might just find someone who really just needed that, you know, your presence. Sometimes just by you being there and testifying, someone is healed, someone is restored, someone has now, you know, une hope, which, you know what, it's not all bad. So I think, you know, church, it's just the foundation and the base. And, you know, it's a place of fellowship. So you need the fellowship.
Yeah,
more than the money, the fellowship is quite important because that's what we are called for.
Hey, man.
Yes. And then we go and make money, then we come back and serve, you know.
I hear you. For people who don't know, ne, she is a mother of 3. Hey. Mother of 3. But the most important thing that stood out for me, so I get a lot of people asking me, hey man, when am I coming? I need, and everyone has got a story to tell when they come here. There's a main thing, we ask other things, but there's a main thing.
Yeah.
Before we get to the main thing, I want to get your background, Ghana. You grew up in Soweto, right?
Yes.
Where in Soweto did you grow up?
At Mdendi. So in Mdendi, there's Zola. It's just one street away. So I grew up there, but I spent most of my time at Zola because that's where I used to go to school. So yeah.
Zola Clinic.
Zola, not Zola Clinic, but Zola Clinic is not far from home. But Nasem, then the library, yes, terminals. Yeah.
Oh, is that why you went to church in Alleluia?
In Alleluia, yes.
It's because
it was really just a walk away.
Dudu. Oh, right. There was a church I used to go to. I used to love attending that time. Karazomai.
I know.
You know Karazomai, eh? I used to love that church. The music, there was this guy playing keyboard. I used to love that church. And you grew up with your mom.
I grew up with my mom and my grandfather and my uncle and my aunt. Yeah. My uncles and aunt and my mom.
But she was actually a single mom.
Yes.
Who never actually got married.
No, she didn't get married. She's been a single mom. So growing up, I grew up actually my uncles being, you know, my aunt is my other mom. Okay. My grandfather is actually like my dad, you know.
So you don't really miss a father figure. Although
no, you really miss it. I'll tell you. If I always say that every girl needs to have their father. And my grandfather, as much as he was my father, but you needed that. You know that I still have that. I think
you still have this thing, good to know, man. Yes, he's doing his best, but you wish you.
Yes, I really wish my dad was here. I sometimes wonder how would my life turn out to be if he was so present in my life. Yeah.
But I must give it up to you because as I was studying your life and your journey, growing up in Soweto, people don't know. Soweto was rough in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
And then for any girl who does not, I don't want to say who does not have direction, but any girl who does not have that support, was easy for them to to deviate, you know. Dating older men so they can feed a kaya, dating in the past, what do you call them? Gangsters.
Gangsters, yeah.
Used to be the thing.
Yes.
And how did you survive that?
I think also the church. So I started singing at school. So after singing at school, there was this great friend of mine, Ubongani. He's more like my big brother, you know, and he was like, let's go to church, there's this church. So I went to church with him and church became a thing because I love music. Yeah. So I quickly just joined the church, started singing. So singing has been one of those things when you come from school, after school there's a choir we used to have, we go there. To do. You know, so I had something to do. There was a community project that we used to attend. So all your dancing, your acting, your singing. So literally that was, something that kept me very busy, because I was singing, I was, participating with, we used to give out condoms, HIV knowledge. That's when HIV was sparking up, and we used to do all that foundation, the groundwork, going to homes, teaching people about, as young as I was, because I had older friends. So the project that we had, we used to call it a project, but it was a community foundation that So I think the church and actually kept me busy, but also the boys were there. Boys be boys. And also not having a father, you keep, going around and you're trying, dating this one. That's why I'm saying to you, having a father is very essential, because I think with girls, if you don't have a father, you end up going from Upol to Upita to Humutso, because you are trying to find that bond. Because you're trying to, you have that
void, 100%.
The void in you, that, you want to be loved, you want to be validated, so I think that's why I'm saying it's so important. So many girls who end up, with so many men, with so many, different characters in their lives, it's because there's that void. Because a lot of us, even I can tell you right now, all of my friends growing up, we did not have our fathers in our lives. We all have single parents. So, the next thing that from, a father, you will then start dating. You understand?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness. So is it true that a lot of women who grew up with their fathers, when they look for a husband, they look for someone who can at least resemble a bit of their father? It's
true, especially if your father was playing a huge role in your life. It was present, because you know the love, you know how you should be loved, you know how a woman, you understand, because you receive that first love from your dad. He's the first guy to tell you he loves you. So if you don't have someone telling you, yes, your mom can tell you, but a father, is it's something special, it's something different, it's something that grounds you also growing up, because now you know what to look out for. But if you don't have that, you understand. Yes, my grandfather was there, but he was
it doesn't hit home the same.
It doesn't hit home the same. He did everything. I loved him. He did everything. But you still need the dad. You understand? 100%. Now you go around looking for everywhere. But I'm just saying. And I'll tell you this. When I got married, literally, my husband, my grandfather, I don't know how, but my husband has that thing of my grandfather. He has that, I don't know. And I always tell him, I sometimes tell him that I wish you had met him, because some certain characteristics that you have that he had, So I think that's true, though. I think it is.
Wow. Did you hear, Papa? Tell your daughter you love her.
You should. It's very important. Especially with me, it then pushed me, because I was like, you know what? I grew up in a family where my mom was a single mom. I grew up home. I really wanted to get married. Now you get to church, right? It's a different scene. Now you have families. Family Mazbugi, family Stole, family. Now all these families, it's mom and dad. Me now, I was just the only one in church. Yes. Not the only one, but there were other kids. But I was.
Because your mom was going to another church.
No, she was going to another church. So I came there with my friend Bongane, but everyone else had their families there. They grew up, Sunday school, the mom is there. So that really inspired me, to say, oh, you know what? I actually want to get married someday, because I was longing for that, where and your dad is here, your mom is there. So it just put that thing to say, you know what? I don't want my kids to not have a father figure like me. So I want one day for my kids to grow in a family setup where there's a mom, there's a dad, and they are present. It's not just mom, dad, but they are not.
Do you know what you're saying? It brings back memories. I remember back in my home church, they had this thing that, one Sunday they said, okay, can families go into groups and pray? Hey, and I was there.
And that's bad. That's when it
hits home. Where can I go? And from time to time, that memory still comes,
And I think then, because the churches were not really aware of such things, that there are kids who are there and they don't have their dads. They might not have their dads because they died or any other thing, any other reason. But I think they were not so conscious, you know, and they were not doing it. I don't think, I don't want to believe that they were doing it from a place of no,
100%.
No,
100%.
I think it was really not being aware that, you know what, there's a child who is here and the dad is not there. But, you know, with my church, it was so small. I'm from Apostolic Faith Mission under Reverend Frank Chigani. So the church was really quite small. And not small, but it was like a family-knit church. So quickly we would see that Humuto is not here with their parents, and they know. And now you will find a family that will adopt you. I remember Umambuli, Robert Boy's mom.
Robert Boy's mom?
Yes. We
grew up,
Robert Boy, we grew up in the same church, me and him, yes. It's like my little brother. So his mom was like my mom. You know, you find like she was just like my mom, and I didn't feel that void to say my parents are not here because why? The parents there at church there was that love going on where you wouldn't feel, you find Ukoko who loves you like their mom, you'll find Umama Zibuko, you'll find Umama with any other, you know, mom that was there will just take you as their own. The grandparents will just, you know, now so no go. But they are not your biological, but it's because of the love that was there.
No, that you see, Christianity has got a lot of angles, but that angle, man, of Christianity, especially when it's, you know, when it's purposeful and it's evident to everyone that you get love, not just. It's all about love, you know, and the more exercise, the better. So tell me, where was your dad?
My dad was around. Oh boy, my dad. My dad was around. My dad was there, right? My dad is from a family. They used to have taxis. Ekai, I think he's dead. So he was there, you know, and he was also part of the family business. But my dad had a problem. My dad was an alcoholic.
Oh my goodness.
So. Yeah, I think that's when the relationship, and I never really got to, because literally I would go see my dad, or I'll find him drunk, I'll find him, he's not there, you know, telling Namashipin, so my dad was, so was occupied by it. But I'm sure he was going through a lot because, you know, life, now that you're grown, you understand that there could be a lot of things that 100%. Was happening in his life, but bottom line, he was not there for me. He was there, he was present, but he was not there. And then he soon passed away after that. Yeah.
Shame, sorry, man. So I can imagine that without the presence of your dad, you could have lived a better life because there are taxis. Back then, taxis were booming.
Yes, they were.
When there's taxis, there was money.
Yeah.
So it was just you and your mom. Was there hardship?
There was. My mom was unemployed. She got employed and she was unemployed for quite a long time. But then my grandfather, because my grandfather was there, you know, they grew up in that family unit with my grandmother and my grandfather just loving them. So my grandfather literally was the one pulling us all together, and he was the breadwinner. He soon got grant, so we were living off that, you know, and it's tough. It's really tough. It's really tough. I remember my school days, you know, but it was, you would know that there was one thing that my grandfather used to do. He would not buy bread for them, right? Because I'm at school, especially if I went to school, so he won't buy them bread until I come back. They only get bread when I come back. He was that kind of a grandfather. He was the one, I think, you know, He
stood in the gap.
Listen, I felt it after he passed on, now in my early teens, because now grandfather is not there, now I'm alone. Now I can actually see that literally that guy is not around, you know, my dad is not, because now grandfather is gone, you know. But for the longest time, he played the role, he was there.
Pivotal role.
Yeah, he was.
Is that then what propelled you to start Tsobane Foundation?
Yes. I started the foundation because, you know, growing up, it was hard. I remember starting my periods not having a pad. Not my mom couldn't afford it, and I'm starting now. I need to go to school. I'm in high school, so you can imagine all those things. And I was like, you know what? One day, all these things that I never had. One day when I have money, I'm gonna buy a lot of them. But as soon as you have those things, you're like, actually, I don't need to buy a whole lot of those things. Then I was taken back to say, you know what? Growing up, this life was really tough for me, and I don't want to see another girl. I know I'm not the president, I can't really reach out to all the girls, but just those that I'm able to, impact their lives, I'll definitely do it. Then we literally started with 100 packs of sanitary pads because we got to the shops and they were selling for 10 rands. And we were like, 10 rands, that's literally, 10 girls that we can actually cover.
Correct.
And we just started just like that with my husband, and I told him to say, you know what, I've always wanted to do this, and he was like, go ahead, let's start it. We started buying them, and I posted them. Facebook was still there, the thing, and I was like, hey guys, I'm starting this initiative. I told them my story, and soon the girls were up for it. The ladies were like, we want to support you, because why? We all somehow have that story when we started periods where you never had.
Correct.
Even if it's not periods, just a simple thing as a toothbrush, as roll-on.
Correct.
Some of us at school, our armpits were smelling, not because of your choice, but it's because our roll-on, you can't afford it,
Correct.
So now that you have and you're in a place of privilege and you are able to do it, why not give back, So that's how it all started for me.
You know what baffles me? I still don't understand how the government prioritizes condoms over sanitary pads. Like, I don't get it. One is a choice, one isn't.
But I guess the condoms, because there's life involved, that, it's a matter of life and death, because it's a health situation. But also, even with the sanitary pads, I believe we can never put the two together and compare them, for me, because it's very important.
But you can put priority over the other.
Well, the government is doing it, but I'm just saying, with in terms of the sanitary pads, it's so important, because your confidence, remember,
100%.
Now you are a girl, you are in high school, the whole body is now changing. Now your hormones are changing. Now you're experiencing this, and you're at school. Some of us, well, I was a bit privileged because I went to a girls' school, so it was not as brutal in Zola, or a girls' high school.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
I went there. So it was a girls' school. So I'm thinking, if it was a combined school, now you're starting your periods, you're sporting, and there's boys.
Goodness.
You understand the things that we go through as girls. So if maybe the school has a system where there is sanitary pads, but slowly the schools that we work with, we normally would just leave the sanitary pads there, so that when the kids are now starting their periods or they need sanitary pads, they can quickly go and get the
100%.
sanitary. Because when we give them a packet, there's an aunt at home, there's a sister at home, a big sister who takes them.
Of course.
And now the child is suffering. So now
that shows that there's a big need for this.
There is a need. So if the government could just jump on it, even on clinics, just giving them out. Even I think also the private sector, because every time we say the government, but even these companies that are manufacturing the sanitary pads, I don't think, just for, just that stage where you're starting, it's very important, because that's your you are dealing with a lot of things.
100%.
Your self-confidence, you are developing as a woman. Now you're finding yourself. Now at school, you need to focus also on your school. Some kids, I remember also, I used to not go to school on some days because I don't have.
100%.
So for me, let me just skip school, clap it for 2 days, and then I'll go on a third day. But now you're missing out on school. So
sure. So how do we help? How do we help?
I do have a foundation.
Yeah.
The foundation you just give. We never want to put a
What's
price on it.
Actually, foundation.
It's Tsobane Foundation. We are on
Facebook?
Instagram or on Facebook, so you can get us there. The details are there on how to contact us, and if you want to take part, if you want to donate.
If
you want to partner with us to say, this is what I'm doing, where can we go? You are welcome to do it with us.
No, we definitely gonna partner with you. I think that's a very.
And it's also not just the sanitary pads. That's why I'm saying this other school we went to, they were talking about the boys. The boys were there, and we were like focusing on the girls. Remember, hey, I am precious, because that's the school initiative that we do. But one boy came up to me and he was like, "What about us?" And I was like, "Okay, so what do you guys need?" Because me now is just focusing it on the girls, based on the experience that I have as a girl. So it was more of a girl child. But the boys came and were like, "What about us? We don't have toothbrush. We don't have underwear. We don't have roll-ons." So we then started my brother's keeper and my sister's keeper, where people you just give, and we do a pack for them, just a care pack where they can just brush their teeth. A simple thing as brushing your teeth. A simple thing as having a decent underwear.
And
as a boy, a roll-on, not to smell. So it's literally the basics. So if you give it, you give it back to that. So those are the different projects that we run. And also during winter, we do our blanket drive. And
Please do let us know now.
I will.
The Gospel Reality Podcast would like to do their bit in joining, because, guys, it gets tough.
It gets really tough.
It gets really tough. There's something that I saw that interested me when I was checking your research. You went to Pastor Hough Alleluia Ministries.
Yes.
Are you still there?
No.
What happened?
I left. Before I was Oh wow, you do your research, bro. Like, where did you get it? Like, in all the questions that I thought of, I never, not even, like, wow, what's up?
Hey,
No. Well done, bro. Like you was I never thought in my entire life someone can actually come and
but let's get over that one. So you went to and you were the worship leader.
I was the worship leader, yes.
The one thing I don't know enough. I can't judge. I know what I see on the papers.
Yeah.
My aunt used to go to that church.
Okay.
And when he left the church, I said, "What happened?" She will not save him today. Hey, I'm busy. Hey. She will not save him today. And I've got another friend who's still there. His name is Jelson Joao.
Jelson, yes, I know him.
He stays in
Angola.
Angola, yes. I went to high school with him.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Nice.
We played rugby together.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And we spoke. He said he's going to come when he comes to South Africa to the podcast.
Yeah.
And the stories.
Did he leave also?
Huh? No.
He's still there, right?
He's higher up there.
Yeah, he is.
He's higher up there.
I went to Angola once. He hosted me in Angola.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you know Justin Joe?
I know him very well.
Yeah, small world.
Yeah, no, I know him very well.
So, we're living in the days of prophets now. For this Maponga was here. Bishop Maponga was here.
Yeah.
And he said, "No, must accept prophets." In the Bible, he who misses a prophet will miss the prophet's reward, or something like that. But these prophets are doing the most, Bavusabantu, and all these other things and we're sitting on the sideline like, hey, these prophets have got us. So I've good sense now, but that you don't want to say why you left.
No. I never left off anything that's prophetic. No. I was there for the longest time.
You got paid well.
No, let's go there. Let's go. No, man. So I was after getting married. Remember, now we need to be in church with my husband. I need to move from my church
to the husband's
church. I don't know how it works, but
to the husband's church.
Go to the husband's church. To situation. So I found myself in that situation. Now with my husband, now he's staying in Midrand. His church, home church is in Dobsonville. So we couldn't. It was too far for us. So we needed to find a church together. So we then, my friend Uche, he then introduced me to the church. Not introduced me. He was from the church. So he was doing a show. He did a show there at church. He was launching his album. He invited me. I went to sing there. It was in Alleluia Ministries. And then after...
Still in Lyndhurst?
Lyndhurst, yes. I went there. Then after that, we actually was like, maybe you should attend like church. He was like, no, come on a Sunday, attend church. We went on a Sunday, we attended church, which was really nice. You know, we like enjoyed church. And soon after, we then left, right? After that Sunday. And then he called me because he was leaving. He was like, you know what? They need a worship leader and I'm leaving. I'm going to America. So I thought of you that you could actually, take over. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. We went to church. Soon when we got to church that Sunday, I think the other pastors left, the worship team left. So literally, the church was literally starting, right? So I met Pastor Alto and Mama Celeste, and really, I love the church. I love the the mission, the vision of the church, and everything that it stood for. And we were literally sold for it, And they're like, we want you to become part of the church, be the worship leader since Uche is leaving to America, and he spoke to you about it, and we really, want to work with you if you're keen to be part of the church. And because really I grew up from faith mission. So me now, this thing of being paid at church, it doesn't go with me because...
Really?
No.
So people should not be paid at church?
I feel that we are serving at church. No. There are some people, because they are hiring, if they are hiring you for your services to say we want you as an engineer, remember that's your profession, then they need to pay you for that. But
let's stick to the musicians.
The musicians, or I'll speak for myself, myself and I, and why I... Because I am a singer. I grew up in church. I got saved in church. And this whole thing, it started there, the blessing and everything. So I never believed in being paid. Because for me, I'm serving anyway. I was going to be at church Sunday anyway.
Okay.
You understand? Singing. And for me, I started singing worship team. Before I even went to Joyous Celebration auditions, I was part of the choir at church. So now imagine, going, sing Tatiwe Joyous Celebration, then I'm coming back and I'm saying, now pay me. Right? And number two, when the church, I believe when the church starts paying you, it's now a job. So if you're a job, you need to clock at a certain time. You need to be there when they call because they're paying. And now I'm having gigs. I'm an artist. They are calling me at certain church to come and minister there. They are paying me, as Dudu Tsobane, to come and be in the women's conference. Now I can't go. Or I'm having a gig with Mafikizolo. I can't go because why? They are paying me in church. And I said I'm going to be there on a Sunday. So I didn't want all those dynamics for me. And I also don't believe in it. I believe it's part of me serving, giving to God. So I don't want God to, especially if it's my home church. If it's another church now that you are calling me,
I was going there.
Then you need to pay me. Because I'm not fellowshipping.
So you must serve at your home church.
Yes.
And then invoice hamba.
Remember, this is your base. This is where your blessing. This is where you tithe. This is where everything happens. This is where the glory. This is where you understand. This is where you are being prayed for. You are being covered. That's your spiritual covering. That's home. Like at Kaya, they don't pay me to wash dishes. But if you want me to wash dishes at your house, then I need to invoice you because
all the churches are they not one body of God? They
are the body of God, but it's work now. If you call me from in court and now you want my services, remember it's now petrol. No, it's I'm an artist. You need to pay me for my work. It's work for me. But for your home church, this is unless they called you or they called you from your home church to say now you know the only thing any labo for you it's service. It's not really.
Look, there's a general cry, and I didn't want to dwell on this one. In the this one, there's a general cry of musicians out there, and in their corners, they wish they could be paid. They don't know how to start a conversation with pastors. Some of them are doing music is the only thing they're doing, And I can imagine how difficult it is as a minister.
So
you've blessed people.
Let me tell you now the story.
No, but when you get home, I'm not necessarily.
It's tough. I know.
And you've served these people. You saw people's people were delivered through your, and you've served, and you really served, but you don't.
You need to communicate. You need to, for me, the first thing, now if we're going into business or anything, we need to communicate to say, is this thing paying or not? And if it's not, and if I want to be paid, I need to make it clear to you to say, you know what, Tomoto, I can come, but I need transport. If that's the only thing I would need. I don't mind doing it, but if you're gonna fit in my petrol money to come, then pay me. But if I really want to be paid, I will tell you that, you know what, Tomoto, this is my source of income.
Yeah.
So I need you to pay me. So those are one of the things that made me leave Alleluia Ministries, actually. Because when I was there, remember I said, no, this is my home. I don't want to be paid, right? Another person will come. You probably would debate me also. And I was there serving. We built literally the worship team. There was nothing. Like I'm telling you, the church went 3 or 4 piece. The other pastor went there with other members, and we were building the church. And I didn't want to be paid. And we literally built the church. The worship team became, the best worship team. And we would outsource musicians who would come and play. And if they want to be paid, they got paid. But for me, this is me, right? And if you believe in being paid, you go, you speak to the pastor or the management of the church, then they will sort you out. And I never got into that.
Yeah.
And
you're telling us why you left,
yeah. And after that, the church grew now. And then the church didn't have so much capacity also to pay people. Because even the people who were coming, the band members, there was no money, basically, to pay them. Sometimes we would just say, just dlalela mzalwane, abanye badlala because bayantanda and all those things. And because the church was nice. But now the church grew, there's now money at the church, right? So for me, if you're now starting to pay everybody else, remember the one who was there, who's been serving you, right? And that's why I'm saying you probably would debate me because I made this decision. Also, it was based on a number of things. The church didn't have money, and I liked the church. I never believed in those things, and. But I'm like, okay, cool. I'm fine with that. Now the church had money. Now people were attracted to this church because now it's booming, right?
Booming, yeah.
I won't mention names because now I don't want to be in trouble with people. But certain artists now started coming to church.
They're getting paid now.
Now they're getting paid, right?
Yeah.
Me, I'm not getting paid, and me, I'm the one from first service, intercession, main service, healing, second service, healing service, evening service, I'm there.
Yeah.
This one those ones who are not, who are being paid, they literally are coming for certain services.
Go home.
They can go home, right? I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And I was like, okay, I now can't be committed so much because...
Did you then go to the pastor?
I did.
And say,
hey, I did go to, not the Pastor Al, but the wife, which is Mama Celeste, because she was the one who was more in communication with us and everyone. There was actually a girl who was in between her and us. And I spoke to her to say, baby girl, I see now it seems like, the church is able, because even the guy who was part of the worship team who I found then was, struggling for quite a long time. They were now getting paid. But this thing is going under carpet. It's not really open to all of us in the meetings to say there's now money or it's karma where everyone can withdraw, even if it's petrol, right?
I hear you.
But and then I approached them to say, okay, I had now this funds. I would also like to be considered to, and they were like, no, you need to tell us why you deserve.
Unborn.
So I was like, okay. So I need to tell you why I deserve to be paid, or why I deserve petrol to come to the church. After so many years, after building the worship team, and I was like, if you can't see my value, I can't really go, and it's more like I'm auditioning
now again
to say, because, you know, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to go there. It's fine. Dudu, just stick to where you were anyway. Don't, you know, get now because there's money. Now you're starting to move away. Now you want to be paid. Because now when you see people making money out of this, and I'm like, I'm also a professional. Correct. I also actually can be paid. And quickly God rebuked me to say, remember the vow that you made, and this is your home, this is your covering. So don't even go there. Stop it. Just stop the conversation. Then I stopped the conversation and I went back, continued. But now there was, I'm not sure to call it nepotism or what, but the church started becoming, I don't know, especially the worship team, where people, you know, you're now being prayed. Now we are your fans. Even Mamfun, this is your fan. Now Mamfun, this is like, oh, no, I want Khumuto to sing more. And you're like, okay, now I see where this thing is going. And now a lot of things started coming up also. Is believing in things that, you know, now, and I was like, nah, you know, but I prayed a long time about it, and I asked God for, you know, discernment. I asked God for direction, and when the time came, I knew exactly it was God saying leave. I actually left. I left in the middle of the service. I just took my stuff, went to the car, and that was me gone. I wrote an email just to inform them, to say I think it's time for me to leave. I left in quite a decent way, but I left the church.
But I've picked up two things. Firstly, we agree on the fact that musicians, if there is money, look. If there is money, I feel like,
and you are looking after them. Remember, you must also understand that this is their source of income.
100%.
This is, for me, my voice is my money.
Correct.
So if I don't have the voice, especially then, now we are able to do quite I think also that was also a wake-up call for me, not to really focus my income on my voice. On your voice. Because, you know, such things happen where you get to a places where people don't want to pay you. But especially specifically with this one, if the church is able to take care of the musicians, 100%. I think they should do it, because that's where you also get value. That's where you also get the commitment that you want as a church, if you're able to pay them. But if you can't, make it known in the beginning that you can't. And also as a musician, communicate your needs, because sometimes we find ourselves where we also didn't communicate, but we are blaming the pastors.
100%.
You understand? We are speaking ill about the church.
It's exactly what you're saying. You know? Oh, sometimes you can't tell the
also the pastors, if the money is there. It's showing no, now we, because in the beginning, remember Sikala story where, you know, we are building, and also now I'm like, hey, now I'm saying go fag invoice, this way I build, and I'm yabon, this one to you know. But now, when there's now money, even if you're just saying it's allowance, you know, just for car, you know, petrol or transport, just name it that. If you don't want to name it as payment, just an allowance, because any other person within the church is getting paid, the administrator, you know, so it's also a skill set that we are bringing as musicians. So if there is money, but it's a very tricky one.
I think it's straightforward for me, but it's not tricky, man. I think it's straightforward for me. I think the arts just needs to be respected. There's a lot to put in. When you sing now,
listen, it's a lot.
Yes,
it's a lot. It's a lot, especially when you get to church. You're also working with people who are not musicians,
and then you
need to sound good. Mfundisi wants you guys to sound good. Now there's rehearsals. There's, you know, you are putting in, you are training them vocally. You are, you know, you want everyone to sound good, because you also don't want to be on stage and you're sounding horrible.
Correct.
It's your image and everything. So it's work. The minute I go there and I'm running a rehearsal, it's work. So if the church is able to meet me, you know, meet me there. But if there is,
finally agree.
Yes, but if they can't, then they can't. But Mina, personally, I've made that decision to say, after that whole shebang bang, I don't want to be paid by the church unless you are hiring me from outside and you are calling me and you are making it clean to me to say, I do have the funds, I want to get you here. But for me, it's just the thing of, I want my freedom. I don't want to be, I want when a Sunday and I feel like I don't want to go to church, I'm able to just not go.
Cool. I hear you. So you said something very important, and it's something I've been struggling with being a musician at church as well, because as the church is small, you've got access to the pastor. They'll call you.
Yeah.
When the church grows,
now
you must make a meeting.
Listen, I could not see. You see, Pastor Alf was like, a father.
Yeah.
I could go to his office. I could, But as the church grew, there was a time where I didn't know when we moved to Sentin.
After the church fell.
Yes, the church fell. We went to, what's that, convention center? Not Sentin, in Midrand.
In Midrand, Gallagher.
Gallagher.
Yes.
We were in Gallagher for quite a long time. Then after that, we then went to Sentin, right? I think, I'm not sure if they're still there, but we went there in Sentin. There, now there's offices. Now I did not know where the pastor's office is at. And for me to get through that, there's like security after security, because now the church is so big and the pastor suddenly is not accessible. Now, even if you're sending him emails, even if you're calling him, you can't find him. And it happens. It happens. But I wish the pastors should just remember, and just give you that ear. And I think it's a matter of loyalty also, because you see with the musicians, they will come once the church is there. Now people will want to be, because we all want to be associated with something that is big, that is beautiful, but you don't know the ground root, the groundwork, where it started. But now with the pastors, that's someone because Khumuto is selling, is a multi selling, winning awards and all those things. Now we want Khumuto because it gives our church a good feel and look. I don't know, but it's just a matter of loyalty.
Do you believe in such? I want us to leave this one. Do you believe now in this church hurt? This term church hurt is used a lot. People are hurt from church. Would you identify with that?
I do identify because I was also hurt. I was also hurt by the fact, I think the loyalty, more than the money issues, because I literally came out of the money. But for me, it was the loyalty thing of, we are not stable. We now forget the people that started with you. You now forget the people that, they sowed in tears. They were there with you when you were down, and now that you are there, you forgot suddenly, So for me, I believe in that the church, can actually, they've caused a lot of hurt, especially with the musicians, where we feel really, we were plagued there. We feel we were really hurt there, and it pushed us away from serving. Now we are saying, I just want to come to church just to be blessed. I don't want to, sing there and be part of the worship team because I'd rather just come, sit, receive, go home. But not be part of any other thing associated, because the church can hurt you.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good, man. I grew up as a musician at church, and I still have this edge because I think this church thing is real because I've seen it, but when you're sitting there, you feel like I could be contributing, especially at your home church. But anyway, this one I see again because we can talk about this forever, hours,
forever, yeah.
I want to go to your Instagram page.
Yes.
You've got nearly 60,000 followers.
Sure, and I feel like it's not growing. I feel like there's stagnation happening. I'm telling you.
Do you know the hard work of getting to 60,000?
I know, but I feel like the stagnation. I should be on 100. I think I should be. If I'm very consistent with my content and everything, I should be.
People don't know how much work
there's so much work. So much
guys, it's no joke.
There's so much work, and you know what I was saying the other time to say, I wish musicians could actually utilize on their numbers on social media. I think a lot of them don't know that the numbers that you have is actually money. The followers you have is money.
100%.
And because we are creatives, we sometimes just focus ourselves to say we're just singers.
Yeah.
And record, and that's it. But God has given us talents and gifts,
Correct.
And we are able to literally monetize and make money in any other possible way. The fact that you are not able to record now or you are not being booked, it doesn't mean that you can't work in other skill sets that you have, And for me, I think with COVID, it made me realize that, okay, I've got the numbers. I've got, I can create. I love speaking. I love, showing my family. Just by me posting my kids, I get paid for that,
Exactly.
So why not utilize that? And the brands were starting to come, and I'm like, okay, so people make money with this. I've been sitting on gold. And they're like, so I had to actually learn to say, okay, you need to learn the numbers, you need to learn, the followers, you need to learn what's the engagement rate, all those things. You need to put together a rate card. What is a rate card? Correct. And if they're asking you, so all of those things, but sometimes as musicians, we limit ourselves to say, I'm just a singer. And most of them, some are literally struggling and not because we're now lindoguti uzobuka, we're now lindoguti you must record. But there's YouTube now, I'm venturing into YouTube. It's a bit slow, but I'm learning to. TikTok is also so slow. But I'm growing into also the social media part to say there's money there. By 100%. Me being Dudu, that's that's value. I can literally capitalize on that and make money of it. And yeah.
And I like what you say, because sure, some artists come to the podcast and they drive all the way here, and when the episode is out, I'm like, hey, did you see your episode is out? Yeah, I saw it. Like, they don't post, they don't repost.
Listen, by that episode, if I speak to you and I'm saying, Kumoso, can I share this? Yeah. It's content. Everything 100%. Me sitting with you like this, it's content. Someone would be watching, correct. The views will be like going up, and it gives my rates.
I was came.
Yes.
And when he was here, he told me that, but after this interview, so and so listened to it and they booked me. So I keep telling these artists, guys.
Yeah.
And I don't.
It's part of marketing. It's part of exposing yourself to a different niche of market. I mean, there might be a lot of followers in your podcast that don't know who Dudu is.
Exactly.
But by me being here, I'm also adding on myself, because I'll gain those followers. I'll gain someone who says, we're actually interested in having you. Can you come and speak in our church?
Oh, you can actually speak.
Because other people think Dudu can just sing.
Correct.
But that's not the gifts God has given me. I go out there as a speaker. Correct. I go out there as an MC, which is something that I never knew when I was still in Joyous Celebration. But when I went out and I started working in the corporate, and now I was MCing for the corporate, in the different events I was hosting. I was organizing events for Dr. Bill Winston, for Dr. Benny, not Dr. Benny Hinn, all those Sinaj came through, and I've been hosting those events from planning to literally execution, to finding the production, to finding the sound and everything. Correct. So someone wouldn't know all those things, and now as a musician you wouldn't know the capabilities that you have, but just by getting a platform you are able to maneuver your way into different things.
So with the digital era, there's so many ways of making money. There's so many ways of you wonder why great artists like Hough Masekela, they still went for radio interviews. Because people will connect.
He still did the adverts that he was doing.
Correct.
And that's another form of making money.
Correct. But you're doing on social media. Look at you. She's doing well, and that's and part of the reason why I had to ask you to come here was obviously your singing, but the main thing was your short videos on, I think it was Instagram or TikTok, I can't remember. Yes. And the main one you were talking about, was ladies, we need to get the kids out of the bedroom.
Yes, please.
And I was talking to, there was an artist, Puleng Mach, we were talking about it. Yes. And I thought, this is the right one. And with Puleng Mach, I just saw the time. I said no. We're going to have a part 2 of this, because it's very important. Because when I look at your Instagram, you look like you're having fun. You look like, and you say you enjoy your marriage. That doesn't mean you don't have problems.
No,
we all encounter problems.
Hi, Jehovah. Kuning.
Like growing up,
Like cooler. I always say it's a scam, guys. Guys, we're going through. But one thing I believe, you never look like your problems.
No, 100%.
Never.
Correct.
Like you just pull yourself together.
Them.
That's why you confuse the NN. You see when I go out of my house, like NN, you're in big trouble, bruh, because I'm not, and I refuse. Even on my right now, if you could know the amount of things I'm going through compared to how I'm looking, like sometimes I even said when the time is right and I get to testify, people will think I'm lying. Like if I come back one day and sit down with you and I tell you that, bro, once once God is I don't know, God will tell us.
No, I'm telling you, don't say if.
Okay, when? Yes. When I come, you will literally think Dudu is lying. There's no way. Like when? Because you've always
guys.
But I believe the amount of challenges that you face in your life, it's because of the things that you prayed for, and 100%. God is really testing you for where you're going. It's the things that are coming. They are massive. Hence, the battle also is going to be equally,
100%.
Or even 10 times more. Because wow, I even told God, I'm like, God, it should be really big, and I believe God, and I believe every time I go through trials and tribulations, I know that something is coming. Like I'm really so close to the victory. The more it pushes, I know. Like I'm certain about it. I might be down and out, but I'm certain that once this thing, it's something even no mind can even
comprehend.
Yes.
But I love what you said. I love what you said because a lot of people feel like the internet or social media is where you should hang your laundry. Especially about your family,
marriage, the family.
Don't know that the people who are reading them are commenting they're going through far worse. There was a time I thought I'm going through the most, and you sit with somebody. You realize. Start thanking God.
Yeah. With social media, especially your Instagram. I love TikTok. TikTok is so real. I think you find real people 100%. With real stories, and I literally can relate with them. But I probably struggle also to share more about my personal life because I'm not so public like that, where I'm going to let you into my every detail of my family. But I believe in inspiring because that's what we are called for. So if you know that I'm here to give hope to those who need hope. So I can't be coming to you and telling you, Wuti, as though I do not believe, because I'm there. My calling is there to really give hope to the people, to really say, sis, we're going to make it. Sis, not that I'm not going through it. I am going through it. And it's possible that you can still, wake up, shake it off. But some days, yes, you sleep. Some days it's so hard. Some days you can't even face the world. Some days I can't even post anything. I go to my archives and post from there, especially my my Instagram, because for Instagram, it's business, it's business. TikTok, you could share, but I'm not so much on social media to really share. I'm not that kind of person. There are those people who are called, let's use the word called for that, to share everything. But for me, I'm here to give you hope, to still share, but not share to the core where I'm literally naked within, the space, because I'm there to give. I don't know if you get me. I'm there to give. I'm called for
100%.
Because I'm a minister of the word. I need to literally tell you that yes, we are going through a lot, but I wouldn't bear it all in terms of
100%.
my family, and because I still need to protect them. Not everyone that, like I told you, my husband is not so much on the social media, but I am. But you need to know the levels also on
and the limits as well.
The limits, because you can't be having everyone coming and dictating and telling you that, like, you don't know what I'm going through, and you're coming and you're telling me this is how I should deal with my hunger issues. You understand? oh, you are just telling me off. No, you're just like, because that's what it happens on Twitter, on. So
Twitter footing, yes.
yeah, so you just put a limit, especially on the kids, on my husband, on my marriage. I don't. It's two people, not the third one.
See, talking about marriage, you said something very important. You said kids should get out of the bedroom.
Yes.
Why?
Because one, they need to learn their independence, right, as children, to say, now you are getting ready.
Yeah.
This is the world. You are out of mommy's womb, out of mommy's belly. Now you are in the world. In the world, you get to be independent, and not all the time you will be in between mommy and daddy. And there shouldn't be anyone anywhere in between mommy and daddy, because you need to enjoy your marriage. The minute that you have kids, most of the couples will just fall into, oh, now we are raising kids. Oh, they need to sleep with us. It's all good because we need to, be there and be the source. But there comes a time where the kids need to go out of the bedroom so that you are able to still continue, with your love, with your husband, making love. Ministry. Because that's what it brought you together. Men, they have their needs. You as a woman, you have your needs. You need to actually... And the bedroom is where the action happens, So
it should not be limited.
I'm just saying, now you have so many kids, unless they're at school, Bazalwane, then you can explore any other room of the house, go wild, do it. But I'm just saying, Guti, it should be, because most of the relationships, people are suffering in their marriages because of their kids.
Yeah, and never mind that we're in a world, mind you, hear that couples have not had sex
for quite this year.
For years.
Yes.
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 So talking about sex. When I was interviewing Puleng March and I was talking to a couple of friends of mine who are also married, I said, no. There's one important question you didn't ask. What does a woman have a right to deny a man when she's praying or fasting?
Praying or fasting.
Yes. Okay. During prayer and fasting. Does a woman have a right to say, no?
Not really. No, I don't think, no. Unless you guys made an agreement. I need to remember my sense is prayer and fasting. Sometimes you are fasting, I'm not.
Yeah.
And if I am fasting and I'll come and say, baby, I'm fasting and I would really want to just, go sabbatical and not engage into sexual relationships, then you communicate. The problem starts when you do not communicate. Only you communicate in bed when the things are supposed to happen. Then you start saying, "Hi, mina ngiyakhuleka." No, it should be done before. And if your partner is not for it, remember you are not in the marriage alone.
Yes.
It's the two of you, and there's nothing wrong with having sex while you are fasting.
I don't enjoy, but allow me.
But you don't enjoy.
Also, do you have a question?
My question is, I had to also do some research.
Okay.
Now, so I believe you got married when you were 22.
Oh, yes.
And when you are, coming from a black community, usually that's not supported. Because
yes.
You have to enjoy life and
true.
all of that. So, how did you maneuver all of that? Was it a smooth one? Was everyone?
Please take us through it.
Okay, I got married when I was 22, turning 23.
You were at Joyous Celebration.
I was at Joyous Celebration.
You were a celebrity.
Yes. Celebrate. I'm not celebrated person, yes. And when I got married, firstly, remember I'm from a church, Apostolic Faith, it's a family church. Firstly, when I told my pastor, and they were like, you're getting married. So first thing that went to everyone's head was like, hope you're not pregnant. That you're pregnant. So I was a runaway. One thing they were looking out for is that she's probably pregnant, especially because I got married so quick. We met in January.
6 months.
Yes, we met in January. In June, they were paying lobola. in August we were getting married. So that was quite quick for everyone. It was a culture shock. So the church was worried pregnancy, moving to the family. My mom now, I'm letting her know, Mom, I'm getting married. She knew my previous boyfriend. Now you're getting married. Are you getting married to him? No. You're getting married to somebody else. It's a new year.
Yeah.
So why long quickly in there kind of like it, sugar daddy. Must be old money. So quick. Marrying. Oh, you are also pregnant. So she was on those things. Okay, moving on. Mommy, everyone else is like, you are so young. Who gets married? So no, you're gonna divorce. We're giving you 2 months. So literally everyone had their own expectation and opinion on, and societal expectations on you should get married at this certain age. If you are getting married now, it means the person is either old, the person is either moneyed, the person is either, oh, you are pregnant, you are covered. That's the church now. So they waited quite a long time for the pregnancy until 3 years, 4 years. Then the baby only came then. The divorce, I'm sure you all are still waiting.
No, not divorce, please.
They're still waiting, but but everyone, that's why I'm saying everyone had there was that societal expectation on how things should be done. Because remember, there's the manual that, everyone, you should
must
go.
know a person.
It should go this way.
Yeah.
If it didn't go this way, then it's not of God or it's not right.
Exactly.
I remember my grandmother, because my husband was like, no, I want to do everything by law, and I'm only going to come when I come with my family. So Maguzombeswa, after the lobola, my mom didn't even know him. So after the lobola, Maguzombeswa, that's when they all saw him. And my grandmother was sitting, because we were busy dancing outside. When we came in, my grandmother was sitting by the corner. She actually laughed, because she was like, hey, even my mom was shocked to say, hey, guys, literally now my mom and my husband, they're best friends, because it's more like his son, and people really thought, I mean, there's a lot of people who got married when they're young, even Buleng and everyone else. And it's just that with the society, they expected that because we're in the music industry, it's either
last one quickly.
Okay, last one. So, premarital counseling. I've watched a lot of married couples, but their podcasts and stuff. So one of the things they talk about is premarital counseling and how it shouldn't be a rush thing. That's where basically you guys are gonna get tested in a way to see if you are ready for this, and then this is the person for you. What was the process like? And bearing in mind that you had 6 months.
6 months, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we did do my church believes family. Reverend Frank Chikane and Mama Chikane, they believe in that so much. We went through the premarital counseling, and we had a post-marital counseling because of obviously the amount of time that we had with the marriage. And it was a culture shock to even them, because they're used to having probably a year with people and doing it. But we did had our pre and post, and we dated in our marriage, because remember, we never got time to date. So we've forever been dating with my husband, because Rajola and Jiwawa, just knowing each other, because that's the only way we actually got to really know, okay, this is what you like, this is what we both like, this is what we don't like, this is, the boundaries that we're setting, this is what so it took us quite years for us to even.
But was the premarital counseling important to you?
It was very.
Did it serve its purpose?
It did. It did. It was so important, because now, remember, you're getting married, you're going to stay with this person. I've never stayed on my own. All my life I've been staying home.
Okay.
So now, now, like, I don't know, what must I do? So it was good that I went through it, because it teaches you a whole lot of things. It teaches you how to be, what to expect, especially what to expect. And if you see those things, how to deal with them, So that's why the post and the pre is quite important, because now that you are in the marriage, you need to still go and speak about it. Even the counseling for couples, the therapy, I think people need to not take it lightly. You are not going there only when we're having problems. We're just going just to speak.
To see the health of your...
To see the health of our marriage, to speak about our marriage, to say, how can we help each other? Where are we lacking? Because there's a lot of disagreement. It doesn't mean that after you've went to the pre and post, then akuna inkinga in the marriage. We are growing. You are evolving. You are becoming daily. And the man I got married to 2010 is not the same man.
Evolved.
He's evolved. The woman he got married to is not the same.
Correct.
And every day, Nami, I'm, getting new things. I'm discovering myself. Now I'm mother. I was a mother of one. Being a mother of three is different from being a mother of one or two. Now in the marriage, so it's a lot of things. So you don't just do it only when you're starting the marriage. You're doing it every time during the year, during the marriage. Yeah.
Correct. Last question about sex. They asked me to ask you.
Okay.
Whose responsibility is it to initiate sex?
Both of you. If I want it, I initiate. Not wanted. I could be wanting it, and he's the one initiating. But anyone can initiate it.
These women.
But remember, also, it doesn't start a camera. I believe the sex or the making love. It's a whole day thing. It starts from when we wake up. From during the day. You can't not talk to me the whole day, and then you're expecting I'm going to initiate. But if it starts with a little thing, and it doesn't mean take me to Diamond.
But sometimes there's no time, guys. We are chasing money.
Yeah, we are chasing. But remember, there's also me. There's also your that little things. Just by you bringing me to the interview, that's like, oh, baby, it's the small things. Just by you remembering that I asked you to bring bread when you come home, it's the little things. And you see, with us, we make sure with the kids, bedtime is bedtime. Whether it's school, holidays, weekend, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, whatever time that we set for the kids. After that, it should be quiet, like ping, so that we are able, if we are watching our series in peace and quietness, if we are enjoying each other, talking about our day, or arguing, they are gone sleeping. But it's a whole, the love making. I call it a camera, brother. No.
You heard it here on the Gospel Podcast. But you must make love to your wife throughout the day.
Yes, please. We want you. We just check on me. Just send me that emoji. Just,
My wife hates it. Ngimthumela le emoji kanje. Yini manje le?
Obhala futhi. Sometimes futhi mina niyathanda ke nokusend izinto ningakhulumi. Just say it. Say I love you. Like yeah.
I love you, baby.
Yes.
Enough about sex, enough about marriage.
Yes.
Dudu is well known for her music. So we want to go back to her music. Your introduction to music, you said you started singing at church.
Church, yes.
And then at church. At what age did you audition for Joyous Celebration?
It was soon after matric. I think I was 19.
You were 19?
Yeah.
Oh, so you joined Joyous Celebration.
I joined Joyous Celebration. I was 19, 20. Yeah.
19, 20.
19, no. I was 19. Mm-hmm. 19.
People don't know. You were with Mafikizolo, right?
I'm still with Mafikizolo.
You're still with Mafikizolo? And you were with Malaika at some point.
Malaika, yes.
And then you did a recording of Brahu?
Brahu, yes.
Really?
Yes.
And you toured with Brian McKnight?
Brian McKnight, yes, we did. Brian McKnight, and we did Collie, Bailey Ray.
No. Yes. Brian McKnight, because that's my favorite.
Yes, he came for his tour this side. I was working with Mjalifa, Jakes, yes.
What were you... Oh, were you opening for him?
We were opening for him, yeah. But we toured with him.
With Brian McKnight?
Yes.
back at one with Venezuela.
Like, sound check, bruh.
Oh my word.
Rehearsal.
Hey man.
Yeah.
And you also, even Donnie McClacken, eh?
Donnie McClacken, yes, I was with Ntokozo
Ntokozo
Mbambo.
Mbambo, yes.
When he
was
came.
it, it's not when they were doing, what do you call that? Gospel classics?
No.
Oh,
Before
classic.
He was touring Africa.
Oh my word. So you've been there.
Yeah.
And after touring with Brian McKnight, after working with Malaika, you can see, like, there's a reason. The reason why I say the money in gospel, because Malaika, you can go to 5 gigs in one night.
No, listen, I made a lot of money on Malaika, I must say. And that time I was still in Joyous Celebration, so I was doing both Malaika. And Malaika then was huge. And I remember we would come, like, we'd do probably 5 or 8 shows a weekend.
Yeah.
So when you come back, you're thinking, no, they're dropping me off. They literally just confirmed another gig. Now you're no longer getting off, you're passing. And I was still very young then. Like, I had a lot, you make a lot of money because your money is literally piling up because you have your padium, you have your rehearsal money. They like rehearsal and they'll give you like a rehearsal money.
And I think I remember you were doing Kaka and Karu. And then,
yes.
Then they came and they sang Destiny.
Yes.
Kaka and Ka is a Afrikaans festival.
Yes, it was huge.
White people in the US sang Destiny.
Yes.
I've never heard so many Afrikaans people singing along. Malaika was huge.
Yeah.
And then after all, no, I still want gospel.
I remember I was still in Malaika found me when I was...
No, but 100%. Yes. But you still went
gospel.
Back.
Yes, because that's where the calling is for me, the gospel. I remember when I was doing my album now this season, I recorded it Ubabu Stole, not Stole, Temba Mkize studio. And he was like, my Juju, he calls me my Juju. My Juju, why not record? Your voice is like, you can actually record jazz, I was like, yo, Baba, wait. Because he was sitting there, remember, he's a legend, he's a producer, he was sitting there, he was like, speaking to my husband, let us sing jazz.
Your voice, tone. You can go anywhere.
I know, but you see, you still have that calling. You still
no, but even if you've got that calling, look at Brenda Mtam.
Yes.
In her repertoire, she'll have gospel songs.
Because you know why she has that gospel song? Because the root of everything, where everything began.
That's also your root.
I know, but it doesn't mean that I am a jazz artist.
Not necessarily jazz.
I know, or any other genre. And I know I could probably maybe make it there, if I want to. It's a matter of if I want to do it or not. But I don't think I think my comfort zone is within the gospel.
I say comfort zone. Yeah. That's my problem.
My calling.
Oh yeah, my calling.
Yeah, it's English.
But yeah, and you're well traveled, eh?
Yes.
Like guys, people don't understand when you were with Malaika and Mafikizolo how much traveling.
Yeah.
That where have you been? Like quickly.
Okay,
where have you not been?
I haven't been to Germany, Spain, but I've been literally
traveled extensively.
Yeah. Paris, London, like everywhere, Africa. Yeah. I've got like my passport that is full, but because of just traveling with the other work. Yeah.
My word.
Yeah.
So
it's also like your Malaika and the private jobs that you also are doing that would take you, your Mafikizolo. I've traveled a lot with Mafikizolo and myself, also when I'm called to go sing in a church, in Angola, in Kenya, all those places,
So where did you audition for Joyous Celebration?
It was Windybro Theatre. It was Windybro in Hillbrow.
In Hillbrow, yes.
I auditioned there, yes. That's where I auditioned.
So, and I asked you deliberately about Joyous Celebration because you arrived at Joyous Celebration, it was 2000 and?
I don't remember.
2000 and something like that. I think four, yeah. I think 2004, you arrived at Joyous Celebration and you stayed before you could even lead a song.
I stayed, right?
Just 5 years or so.
Let me see.
Huh?
I got there, it was Joyous. They just recorded Joyous 9.
9.
So I came when it was the tour. And then I recorded Joyous 10, 11, 12. Only on 13. So it was 3 years before I could, yeah.
Did you not doubt yourself at that point?
No. I literally remember Joyous Celebration for me. It was my first professional music platform. So for me, I took it as a school of arts, a school of music, where I got to literally discover myself as a musician. Because at Sontweni, we sing everything. I got to Joyous Celebration thinking I'm a soprano singer, only to get there first day when they said, okay, soprano, alto, tenor, let's all sing. And soprano went, you know, and I was like, I think I'm an alto, you know. So I had to go through shedding all that church things that I thought, hey, superstar, or you know it all, or you know music, to literally a formation, like ground foundation. So I believe, you know, just like building a house, it doesn't take 2 days. Some for other people, but for me, I had to go through.
No, correct. But can you imagine
the stage fright, like seeing a multitude of people attending the show? You get there, you can't sing. The voices is not coming out.
But I can imagine you get there, and then I'd be scared. I'd be like, "Ooh, singing in front." Not yet. But 3 years, I feel like it's a bit long, especially when you're there. And then after a year at Joyous Celebration, you must have found yourself to some.
The first year, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Like, I don't remember the first year. I was being deep desire within the whole space, because I was learning quite a lot of things. It's the stage, it's the makeup. I don't know how to put makeup. I don't know what makeup is. So it took me quite a while. Correct. Second year, I was getting into the groove of things, but I believe in God's time for me. I don't believe in just, it's for me. It should,
no,
you know?
I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm picturing myself at Joyous Celebration. The first year might be tough. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Please don't let me leave.
That's Joyous. That's Joyous what? 10.
Please
11.
Please don't make me lead.
Okay.
And then there's a person who comes after you, who came, who
who
just arrived, younger than you, rocking that stage.
Yes.
How did that?
Not younger than me in terms of I was young. Yeah. Older than me, but shorter years.
Yeah. They come and they get solos. Before you,
it's okay. It was not.
Really?
No. Remember, backing is quite a skill. We've got a lot, especially even in Joyous Celebration. You can have the most amazing lead singers, but when it comes to backing, it's a struggle. I know
there's a lot.
There's a lot.
I know.
You know, it's a skill, and once you master that, literally paired with you leading, you can do amazing things. You know yourself now as a musician. I don't believe in 2 minutes noodles as a person. I needed to allow myself within the journey.
So was it a conscious mindset?
As years went, it was conscious, because I enjoyed backing. You know, I would back you and you would sound really amazing. And for me, it was that's why I'm saying it was.
Do backings?
I do backings with Mafikizolo. I'm a backing singer for them. And I've been doing with them for 10 years or so with Uthio and Nkandla. So it's a skill that you get to do. But for me, it didn't get to me. As soon as I got the solo, which was with Hough, it was just one of those songs where every show would go to outsing. It launched me as a solo artist, and I mean, look at God. So it's really God's
what you
time.
did with Hough, it was cool. But when you did Pulazara Mahlano, the next was 14, ne?
It was 14.
14 when you did Pulazara Mahlano. I was like, hey.
So you see, for me, it was that step of now I know myself. Now I can stand on my own. Now I know how, you know, what I need to sound like, or what I should, you know. So you know yourself now. Joyous 17. Temenjalo now could write a song. You understand?
You wrote that?
I wrote my song, bruh. So it's it's a level of just learning and allowing yourself time. You don't compare yourself with other people. It shouldn't be 2 minutes. Even if it takes you 3 years, 4 years, it's still going to happen. If it's got time, it happens. And if you allow yourself to grow, it will happen.
My goodness.
Yeah. It's also not about the number of songs you did, it's about the impact.
It's also about the quality of the songs.
The quality of the music. Because some, you'll end up recording songs just for the fact. Some you need to take a break. Even those who are still there doing it. It's a matter of just pause and then find yourself, refresh, then go back again. And you have the impact. Because it can sound like,
no, I get it. Wow, I'm still stuck at the fact that you wrote Tembeja. I loved that song.
I write most of my songs.
The lyrics, the arrangement on that song, like that song was well, proper.
Tembenjalo, and I did a song in Joyous, was it 15? Bopilo Kiwena Modi. I also wrote the song with
really?
my husband, yeah.
Was that not a
That's the first, no, it's not a hymn. No.
Okay.
I wrote the song.
Yeah. Wow, you wrote that song. Wow. And how was when you said after 17, after Tembenjalo, when you said you leave it?
Yes.
How was it? 10 years. That's home,
it was time. 10 years also. I think it was significant for me, and I felt, you know what, I can write songs now. I'm so confident with the stage, and also I felt I needed to grow more. You know, in terms of me being a solo artist and just going out there and taking a step of faith, you know, just will remain a home for me. But I needed to just grow and allow other people to also come and experience 100%. What I experienced. So I needed to leave. Yeah,
I should have taken Chunky with you.
No, man. Remember, it's just a matter of time. Time, yeah.
So, where you recorded your what do you call it? Your solo
album.
Solo album.
Yeah.
And then Usia was your producer.
Yes.
So, you've in your journey in Joyous Celebration, you started off Nubego Mbata.
Yes.
Then Nubego left, and then you continued.
It was Sia.
Then became Sia.
Yeah.
Who did you enjoy working with the most?
I think both of them. With Nubego, I enjoyed him because it was the groundwork.
He's strict.
He's strict. Yeah. He was so strict with us, and he laid the foundation. You know, especially vocally, so understanding. That's why I said to you, I enjoyed the backing more than anything, because that's where the work is done. That's where you sound so good. That's where you actually understand. From understanding how the song should sound like, and knowing that now you are singing off, and there's someone who can actually tell you, you are singing off, and you know, you are able to get to stage, and you know what, I got all the training. They can never be anything.
And I hear he's got a sharp ear.
He's got a sharp ear. He's very good. Like he's precise with his work, you know. So I enjoyed working with Ngubeko. I would still love to work with him. You know, record with him. He's one of the best producers that we have.
Everyone says, man.
So both of them with Sia.
And then Sia as well.
Sia is my friend. Sia is my brother. So especially because with the music, remember, I'm starting to write music. Well, with Joyous writing, I did it with Ngubeko, you know. And he was like, it's sounding really good. You are doing amazing. Keep on writing. And I worked with Usia, with Tembenjalo, and it was like, I worked with Usia, with Tembenjalo before. I actually recorded Tembenjalo in my album before the Joyous one. So I started working on my album.
Oh, you did your album when you were still in Joyous?
Yes, I did my album.
2014?
Yes. I did my album, but it came out after. So the Tembenjalo in Joyous and the one in my album, it's two different.
No, it's different.
They are different, but they were produced by one person.
By the same person. Yes, man. I hear. Like everyone who comes here, actually, it seems like this is the Sia show. Every second artist was produced by Sia.
It's so good.
Kurili Bebe, like a lot.
Yeah, I think because we then spent a lot of time in Joyous Celebration, working, traveling together, and then it was easy to work on the actual music with him because he was there. And Ngubeko then had already left, so
Wow, but your album, hey, it lonely like on. album. Yeah.
It's so lonely,
Because
like
the name of the album is
this season.
This season.
This season,
Yes,
yeah.
this season, and it's such a beautiful album. And I don't know, it's a bad habit I've done. When an artist leaves Joyous Celebration, they still have a Joyous Celebration trademark.
Yes,
that's why they'll take BVs from there. They'll take a producer from there,
the band from
and
there.
the band from there, which is okay. The album afterwards, that's when you are really independent, because you don't work, because when you record like that, you need to.
It's more like the people you work with, they're there. It's the same zone also. Yeah, you know.
And you feel the need to do the songs, the big songs you did in Joyous Celebration.
Yeah.
You need to feature them so that
so that people remember. That, this is big.
But the album after that, I was waiting for that. I was like, hey man, Ipumane, okay, we've heard him Tembejalo, we've heard all these songs, but I want to hear.
It's coming.
This is coming.
It's so ready. It's coming. The music is ready. We workshop the music. It's just, God's time. Hey, especially because I'm an independent artist. I'm recorded under my label, Naledi Records. So everything I do, literally, I'm doing it from my pocket. So it needs money, and it's really tough. And within the the economic times that we are living in right now, it's so tough. And it's sometimes it can discourage you that you've worked so much and someone is coming and then they just recording. Boom, and when you start like, recording album years too,
Yes.
But it's all. That's why I said to you that the amount of trials and tribulations that you face, they are also because of the things that you prayed for, and because the amount of things that are coming into your life. And I just, it just taught me to exercise patience and really trusting God, with God, with your time, it's going to happen. And it's a matter, where everything is ready. I've prayed for it. I've, worked on the music. Like I said, I worked on the music. The music is there, and I know that, God is going, especially with the times that I've been through, the testimonies, the songs were inspired by that. I wrote the music. It's just money. So if there's anyone with money, now in Germany, invest and the album will be out.
And that's exactly where I want to go.
Yeah.
Is it really an investment? Because everyone who comes, who has been here, they say, guys, I have not made half of the money.
You see, now I'll tell you. You see, with my first album, because you are going out, remember you're from a big, also I think, I'm just going to make a reference.
You did a studio recording.
It's a studio recording.
Yours was not a live.
It was not a live. It's a studio recording. And I'm from Joyous Celebration. And I want to keep on the standards, And most of us will go for, if it's a recording, you want the big screen.
Of course.
You want the big stage, the big lights, the big venue.
Of course.
Because why we are inspired by a Joyous Celebration or where we are coming from, And you want that excellence because that's what you are used to. We understand. But now you forget that you are an independent artist. A Joyous Celebration has sponsors. They've been there for years. You understand. But if you have the capacity, you can. But in the business sense, it's only wise not to invest more than you would actually gain out. But if you are building a brand in the formation, you would, just like any other business, you would spend more because you are still building. And the returns might not be the same. But the second one, now that you know, it shouldn't be as, because now you know that I don't necessarily need the big screens. I can do it in this way. Especially now, people have shown us that you can literally record anywhere, even at home, and still make millions.
Correct.
But because of where it's a matter of the mindset shift and also aligning and being strategic and being creative. And you can still reap the same rewards.
100%.
A Super Bowl. Normal when was recorded just in a warehouse. You can still reap the same. The thing is, the quality of you don't compromise on the quality of the music. But any other prop, you can literally work
play
on
around
it.
with
Yeah,
it.
play around with it. It's just that we want the band. I recorded with the live band, even if it was in the studio.
Yes.
I still need to pay them,
of course,
all the money.
And I was talking to a producer 2 days ago.
You need to pay the producer. You need to pay the backing vocalist. So
and the producer, prominent producer.
Yeah.
I don't know if he wants me to say his name, but he says, "Brad, do you know that gospel music? It's one of the toughest music to play, yeah? Because obviously gospel it's got a lot of genres inside it.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to play different styles.
Yeah.
It's overproduced.
It is.
It's to a certain extent where you feel like, it's overdone. Sometimes there was an era where you wanted to sound American.
Yeah.
Sabuya much, but there was an era. So you need those guys who are good, who can execute that in a short period of time, because you don't have time to pay people for 3 weeks of the rehearsals, So and then we forget that, hey man, we're making music for the people. People, elders, who actually buy the music. Some of them.
No. But it matters to us as creatives and as gospel artists, because that's why I'm saying it's the sound. You don't want to be compromising on that.
Yeah, but
I know it's expensive, but you also don't want. I still want you to play that. I still want you. I still want those things, because they make me sound good. They make, even though they're expensive, we can't run away from it. But it's, even if Ukoko wouldn't hear it, but because of the brand that you're building, the sound that you can even record the most simplest, or within the album, the most simplest song could be the one that is
correct.
The one that didn't have all those things, but you wouldn't know. But it's also not about the hit. It's about creating the music as a whole that will last you for generations. Like right now, you have all this.
Yeah, but I was listening to one of my favorite albums.
Yeah.
Marvin Sapp, Thirsty.
Yeah.
The song the biggest song, never would have made it.
Yeah.
Simple, straight to the point.
Yeah.
So I think, we missed that. But anyway, I don't want to dwell too much into that. But Dudu, you've got an amazing voice. Got an amazing talent. We're looking forward to your music. Like I tell you, this second album of yours, I've been waiting for it.
It's coming. Me, I'm very, positive, and I have faith, and I know at the right time.
At the right time. At the right time. But we're gonna definitely have a part 2, because I only asked you 40% of the things I wanted to ask you. That's why I'm going to
Yes,
but we appreciate the time.
Thank you.
And the people, your fans also needed to know Usekon.
No, I'm here.
The music is coming.
The music, and they keep asking. Sometimes I don't know what to tell them, because I'm also going through the most. I also get frustrated, especially if someone is going to ask you 100 times, not even the same person, and they don't know. They're asking from a point of, we love you, we want the music. But it hurts when you also don't know why. Also,
like I'm talking to especially Timohan.
Yeah.
Says, bruh, just need the money, man.
Yeah.
I've got the songs.
It also hurts, especially when you feel like I've done it, or I'm just waiting on the money and the time, and I know that I can. When Guti, you are ready, you've prepared, but you can never understand, and you can also move ahead of him, because that's where just wait upon God. And in the meantime, it doesn't mean that if I'm not recording, I'm not Dudu Tsobane. I still operate in other gifts and talents that God has given me. I still go and sing in the churches. I still go and sing in the events where they invite me. I still go and MC. I still go and do all the other things. Just that the new music is not yet out.
Correct.
But thank God for YouTube, because you can just showcase all the music and the things that you have. Yeah.
But Dudu, thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you.
I have learned so much about you.
Thank you.
Before Figala. No.
I wonder what you were thinking. If you could know what a person thinks of you before
let's
you
just
come.
say you way above my expectations. Your bubbliness, I wouldn't have experienced it, because TikTok and all these things, people put in faces.
But
I experienced you one-on-one, and I must say you're a great lady.
Thank you.
Husband is really a lucky man.
Thank you.
The two of you are hoping for something. But not to go very far. We like the podcast here. Our very new podcast. We've got a sponsor, ne?
Ooh,
but before a sponsor, but before a sponsor from us, the Gospel Reality Podcast, we've got.
Oh, this is so cool! Look at that, guys! Like
ne? So it's called a hot and cold. Yeah.
Ooh, hot and cold.
When you put hot water. It's like a flask, a complete flask.
Know, yes. And it's much needed, especially now.
Correct.
You know, I can put my ginger and honey tea.
In summer, ufaka amanzi abandayo.
This is cool, guys. This is like stunning. I love it.
And then this is our sponsor. We've got a sponsor called Little Laka. At Little Laka on Instagram.
Okay.
Please tag them and say, hey, thank you for your products.
Okay.
Little Laka on Instagram. I'm a body butter.
Oh yes.
I'm a bath bomb.
Yes. Oh lalela.
Kune shower gel. Ponzo yazi igeza nezo.
Ponzo, now phakathi deep within.
Ponzo. Lento yokuthi I'm gonna call my wife the whole day. Makafika athi bath bomb after lapho ziyash. So this is from Little Laka.
Thank you.
To you. Please enjoy.
Thank you. I will. I'm gonna take them on my social. They're selling, right?
Yeah, they are selling.
Okay,
so if you want more, you can order from them.
I will.
They're very cool. So a lot of artists.
Thank you.
They come back for more.
Thank you.
But, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first from the Gospel Reality Podcast. Until we see each other again, Akoto Ibelilo.